Okay, so this individual has 9 letters in their name. Okay, and we'll start off there. Okay, and then we'll go into the breakdown of the spread. We'll actually break down each word that the individual chose to personally identify themselves within that name. And we'll challenge the cards. I'll do it in another video. This is kind of extensive. We'll challenge each card by the moon, and we'll see how the words that the individual chose actually reflect to each card that was drawn. Okay, so this individual has 9 letters in their name. Okay, so we'll start off there. Okay, 9 is a representation of potential to create for another cycle to begin and endings. The 9 in numerology acts as the usher in this process of transformation, guiding and empowering us with its wisdom. It absorbs answers from a spiritual source, then delivers them to us in the real world. This number is a humanitarian at heart. It is compassionate, kind, and intent on putting its efforts towards creating the greatest good. Okay. The 9 in numerology has gone through its fair share of hardship and is wiser, stronger, and more aware as a result. These first-hand experiences make it especially understanding of others who are struggling and willing to provide valuable support. Awakening through life experience, the number 9 is the numerology. In numerology, has learned the value and magnitude of its inner wisdom. It is now in a position to awaken others to their own higher self, leading by example, and 9 shows how to handle hardship with grace and understanding, inspiring others to do the same. Okay? Okay, so here we'll start off with the moon as our challenger here. Okay, the moon, it signifies a lot of people, well, in the original, I don't want to say it's the original, but people describe the moon card as hidden secrets and things of that sort. It's not only secrets, as we see, it's a very, very intuitive card. The moon is actually guiding this creature. As we see, the creature is trying to escape what is trying to bind it from actually achieving its goals. Okay, and you can't really see it, but here it goes right here. So right here, there's a castle back there. You know, we see the deities right here that they have that is actually guiding this creature to its highest good. But it has to allow itself to be guided by its highest source, okay? Whatever that individual's highest source may be. But it will illuminate and bring forth the light to actually make it through its journey to actually be successful and make it to that mountaintop. And it's a castle back there. Okay? So here we have the 10 of Wands. Okay? And the 10 of Wands, people describe the 10 of Wands as someone that is struggling, that has a lot of burdens. When I look at this card, I describe this card in this deck as an individual that has a lot of things to carry. But if we really look at this individual right here it's grasping these wands for a reason, as if these wands are extremely important to this individual. And I researched it with the writer of these cards. And the wands are very, very significant in this individual's life. So these wands do not need to be dropped at all. This individual has to carry these wands in order to make it to its destination successfully. So there are it's a burden to carry on its own, but this is something that this individual has to carry, because this is something that is given as what am I trying to say? It's a part of this individual's journey to actually carry these wands. If you guys relate to the Bible or whatnot, it says our tests and our trials come to make us strong. So this individual is going to its destination, and sometimes those wands don't need to be dropped. Sometimes we need to sort through our lives and actually figure out what we need to carry to our destination and what we do need to leave behind. It looks like this individual, whatever struggle it is trying to carry to its destination, it looks like it needs to be organized a little bit. I guess that's just that Virgo moon in me, but it looks chaotic right here, but it's nothing that this individual can't defeat when guided by the moon, guided by its own intuition. Okay, so that is the challenge with that. Okay, so I posted this last night. So the wheel, when I looked at this card, I seen a man, and it had boobs. So that's why I asked the question that I asked, and that's when I found out that it was actually a creature full of riddles. It's just I don't really want to go too deep into this card, because it was very, very interesting to hear the story of this card. But as we see in each corner, it represents the elements. We have at the bottom, it states that this one would be earth, water, fire, and air. The wheel is not turning, but it is actually being guided by its intuition on which way to go, in order to make it to its highest path, in happiness, because we see the rays of the sun as well. And this wheel, life is a riddle, and it is for us to be guided by a higher source on how to actually solve these challenges in our lives, and actually be successful and harmonious with all the elements that we encounter, because we all hold a certain part of each element within us. People always say, oh, well, I'm this and I'm that. Well, you're actually a part of the whole wheel. You're a part of this whole cycle, and it is for us to learn how to be harmonious with each other in order to actually be successful as a whole, as a collective. I think that's where a lot of people fall short in their journeys, because they don't tend to help each other. But you see the stars illuminate in the background, but this wheel is not turning at all, from the description of the author. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, well, let me go ahead and challenge it with the moon. Okay, so if we allow our intuition to guide us, then our wheel will start turning into a more positive direction. We need our lives to fall into a harmonious direction in order to attract positive in our lives. We actually need to be guided on what needs to be left and what needs to stay and what needs to continue to rotate in order to put us on our highest path in our lives. Okay? So here we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, the Knight of Wands in this card, it is the individual that is very, very forceful. It seems as if this individual seems to be a little bit selfish to get to its destination, and is striving and is not going to let anything stop this individual from getting to where it has to go. But as we see, it's not going to its destination by itself. It is being carried by something. Something is carrying it. And it doesn't seem as if this individual is actually honoring what is carrying it, because when I actually researched this card, it shows that the horse, see if it will focus a little bit. Okay, the horse, you see the white around the horse's mouth. It actually says in the description of this card that the horse has foam coming out of its mouth. So when we challenge it with the moon, okay, the moon is a nurturing card. A lot of people describe the moon card as represented by Cancer, which is the nurturer of the zodiac. Okay, so when we challenge these cards together, this individual needs to be more compassionate and more nurturing to what is actually helping it get along its highest path to its destination. This individual is not thinking about its safety at all, because the horse is tired and it has foam coming out of its mouth. So, and it's in the desert, and it seems as if the horse may need some water to actually make it to its final destination. So there needs to be more nurturing. It's okay to push towards your highest path with passion and enthusiasm and drive, but it is not okay for an individual to neglect. Okay, so when we challenge these two cards, there needs to be more nurturing that needs to take place with this individual, not only with what is carrying it, but with itself as well. Because as we see, this individual is on a journey and it doesn't have anything with it. It doesn't have any food. It doesn't have any water. It's just on the go. It doesn't seem as if it thought about too much or anything. So I would say this individual needs to not be so impulsive to get to its destination, but to actually prepare and take its time and ask its highest source exactly what it is that this individual needs to be successful on its path. Because if the horse gives out, then there's not too much that this individual can rely on to actually carry it to a successful journey. Okay, so then we have the Star. Okay, and as we look at the Star, wow, this is a very, very beautiful depiction of the Aquarian. It's very nurturing. We see the blue and the purple. And what stood out to me the most is the stars. Now, when we look at the stars, stars represent illumination and energy and just us. And what is guiding us from a higher source. And in the background, you can see the moon is guiding this individual in a nurturing manner to be itself, whoever this individual may be. Okay, and there are 8 stars. Okay, so we have 4 on this side. We have 4 4 on the left, and we have 3 on the right, and 1 in the center. Now, 8, harmonious, peaceful, balanced. It is a symbol that helps you make decisions that are beneficial to you. Luck, success, abundance. Actually going back and making sure that everything is well nourished and well taken care of. I had a deeper definition with that, but I won't go too much into that because we're already 15 minutes into this. But if you see the vessels that are pouring out, it seems as if it's water, but it's more of a nurturing vibe to me, because right here, we can see right here that it's actually pouring this nurturing fluid onto something that will grow. And it looks more like it's like a tree. And then this is just the flow of life to me, that is actually like cycling. It's a cycle. And it's making everything green and making things flourish, okay? And when we challenge these two cards together, we see the moon and the moon. When we do that, this is a representation of me that there is hope if you believe. You have to believe in what is guiding you. Even, I wouldn't guide myself because we're humans and we make stupid choices. So everybody needs to be guided by a higher source, okay? In order to make it to a peaceful path, because this individual is very peaceful, just chilling, doing his own thing. It's beautiful. I love that card. Anyway, I got a little bag over there too that I bought from the Herbs and Arts. Shout out to Herbs and Arts. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but here we go. We have the Death card. Okay, now the Death card. The first thing that I seen in this card was like the scorpion, the little stinger from the scorpion on the sword here, and I seen the rose in the middle. This is and then the hawk in the back. Okay, this card is representing death and transformation, and in the description it says, "Why are you here?" We have to know exactly, and then I had to think about that statement. Why are we here? We have to know exactly. Okay, so let's challenge these cards, okay? We have to know exactly, and your higher source will tell you exactly what needs to die and what needs to stay, okay? Because it's the cycle of life. In order for things to be beautiful and flourish, something has to die. Something has to be let go of. So you have to let go of something in order to get something more beautiful, something that's more in a line to your path, okay? But you have to let something go. It doesn't always have to mean a physical death. But we all go through these transformations in our lives, and we have to take heed. We have to be led, because as humans, we can attach ourselves to stuff that we don't need to be attached to, and it will actually hinder us, because the death is actually stuck in the middle. Just it's stuck there. It's not rotating to bring any more transformation in life. It's just stuck there. So we have to actually allow the light in the background to be illuminated on the things that we need to let go of. Because as, spiritual beings, we need to know not to get attached to people or things, because people will fail us all the time, and things, they'll just fade away. They'll rust, they'll tarnish, and then, there'll be a new trend. Things won't be popular anymore. So we have to know when to let things go in order to actually make it to our successful stability, okay? Because that's stability in the background, okay? So here we go with the sun. Now the sun card, and then look at the little, I ain't going yet, but that was funny to me. But the sun represents hope, joy. I don't really want to go too much into that because we have the full zodiac wheel here. It is for everyone to be happy and to enjoy life. And these two little people here, they're so carefree. You know, they just want to be happy and they just want to be themselves. In the sun card, for me, it's just a representation to be yourself, to go back into a childlike state and have fun with the world. Because what is guiding us here wants us just to be happy, just rays of sunshine, rays of light, and just to live life to its full extent without any worries, because we have to understand what is guiding us. When we know what's guiding us, we can have this fulfillment of happiness within ourselves. We don't have to seek out happiness within other people or things or our careers or whatnot, but just to be happy within ourselves. Sometimes we need someone to help us along our path in order to bring out that sunshine. But this is a card of individuality to me. Just to be happy within oneself and the world that's around us. Okay? Okay, the Two of Pentacles. Oh, wow. Okay. So the Two of Pentacles, we see in the background. We'll start with the background, okay? And you can't see it much, but we'll use that as the example because my phone, I'll set up my camera. I have a camera and everything, but I'm just not ready for that. I'm in the transition of moving right now. We have two ships back there. One is coming in. We see one coming in, and we see one leaving, okay? Now, this individual is like, you know, I'm doing my thing. I'm working hard. I want everyone to watch me. And it is actually juggling within its balance to actually be successful and to allow those ships to come in. And what no longer serves this individual needs to leave. Okay? In the description of the author, it does state that the juggling is led by a higher source. And that this individual needs to seek balance and doesn't need to be a show-off, because just standing on one leg, that's not too stable. And standing on a rock, you know, the waters might, you know, the tide might come in and knock this individual out if it doesn't actually pay attention to what is guiding it. Even though this individual is very, very skilled. This individual is very skilled. But it could be knocked off of its balance at any time if it doesn't listen to the higher source. So we see the little the little ribbon that is around it. There's actually a glow that you can see just with the card itself, without me recording it. You can see the glow, and it's actually being led by the universe, and actually to perfect its craft. Okay, I don't know too much about juggling people or whatever, because there's only one person in this card. So when you describe this card, you would have to have another card that would be in a stance of juggling a relationship or whatnot. But in this case, this individual is actually juggling its talents, its crafts, actually trying to be the master of just juggling everything that's going on, just multitasking. This is the card of multitasking for me. Okay, and then, you know, challenged by the moon, intuition, highest source, universe, there. Okay, so the Six of Cups. All right, so the Six of Cups is a very playful card for me. Okay, and we'll go ahead and grab this one as well. Okay, so the Six of Cups is, and you see that in each cup, it actually has something that fills it, and it's of joy and peace. And we won't go into the colors. I won't do that. But each cup has a different flower, and in this depiction, it is actually the colors that reflect off of the kite, the rainbow. These children are very playful. We need to be more playful. Once again, this individual needs to be more playful, and it seems as if they are hiding their playing in a fork. Okay, and they're just happy. And I don't look at this card as a reunion card in this deck, because it's describing to me to be more childlike, to be more playful with ourselves, and to chill. Okay, just chill, because we see the kids where they're chilling in the grass, to be grounded, and just to actually trust that source will lead us into everything that is good for us. Okay, and if we challenge that by the moon, we can just see the flow of the water, just to go with the flow. You know, allow source to let you go with the flow. Okay? And here we have the King of Cups. Now, I didn't realize this until I read it, but the king's robe is actually their fish scales. Okay, but we see the fish are gravitating towards this individual. This individual seems to be very, very nurturing, as we see. We see the colors they reflect, and we see the stability here as well. We see the stability here. And these fish are gravitating towards this individual because they find this individual very trustworthy, a very, very honorable individual, someone that is very, very compassionate. With anything in life, we need to nurture it in order for it to grow. We have to put ourselves out there so we can be trustworthy individuals. Sorry, you guys, I have my door open, my neighbors. But these fish, they trust him. They have grown to trust him, and they have no care in the world that this individual will betray them because of the passion. You can see the passion in this individual's eyes. If I can get it to focus here. I probably won't be able to get it to focus much. It won't focus for me, sorry y'all. But there is a lot of passion in this individual's eyes. And it looks like it's looking out for guidance, wisdom, because this individual is very, very wise. And it's asking the source, because if you look, when you read in the tarot, you actually have to see how the cards face each other as well. And if you see this individual is looking, okay, this individual is looking towards the moon, and the moon is looking back at this individual, and it looks like it's actually giving it wisdom, okay, to actually flourish this individual's kingdom. Okay? So that's what I got for this. I got so much more out of this, but I won't go into all that right now because I got things to do and I'm hungry. But y'all have a happy 4th, and I hope y'all watch this, but if not, it's all good because I'm still do my thing. Period. Yep, that's me. Okay. This is my reading, y'all. Okay, y'all have a good one.